Hello and welcome to another episode of the Happy Movie Mangoes podcast. Today we're going to be talking about something maybe controversial, but our top 5 least favorite actors of all time.
Yep. I just want to preface my list that there's a lot of bad actors out there that nobody's ever heard of, and then there's famous ones that a lot of people like. So,
Yeah, I'd also preface my list by saying I don't think about this like at all, so this was very difficult for me to come up with five guys.
yeah, I think I can like pinpoint people's performances and go from like bad to worst on that. Like Tom Hardy, for example, has had some bad performances, but he's had some really great ones too.
Yeah, I think that was the hardest part for me is like I don't think there's an actor who well, maybe we'll get into this, but I feel like there's not really any actors who consistently always have a bad performance, but maybe we'll get into that. So,
Yeah.
let's we're going to start with our 5th least and then go to our worst actor of all time.
Cool.
So, my 5th least favorite, and this may be controversial, is Steve Carell.
No, you don't think that.
I do think that. I haven't seen a ton that he's in, but I know he's in The Office, and I don't like The Office. And I don't know. I don't have a lot to go off of for my reasoning for my list. And so for him, it's mainly The Office, and I don't like The Office.
Okay. I think what it is like he's usually picked for roles that are cringe humor roles. So like 40-Year-Old Virgin, The Office. Me and Dan were recently watching Space Force, and he's like the lead in that.
Mm-hmm.
He's essentially like this general who's the same character as his character in The Office. And so
Oh,
yeah, so it's like I think it's more like the writing is probably what it is than his acting skills.
yeah, that could be true.
So just to give you some like, but you're gonna why don't I read mine and then you can react to that if we're ready to
Okay.
move on.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Okay. When I was researching like people, he was on a lot of people's lists.
Okay, good. I know a lot of people like him is the thing though, because he's like super attractive and like does an okay job. My thing is I've never seen him in a role I've liked.
Oh yeah. What movie is he most famous for?
I
Or
don't-
some of the
I don't
ones that
know.
he's done?
So he was in that old movie with Matt Damon. I can't even remember what it was called. But anyways, he's in Batman vs Superman. He was like Daredevil and Daredevil. He's in some like rom-coms, I bet. And man, I can't remember the movie that he was in, but I just thought he was just like incredibly boring. And the only reason he's in there is because he's Matt Damon's buddy.
Yeah. So I've only seen one movie that has Ben Affleck,
Okay.
according to Letterboxd.
And that movie is?
Field of Dreams.
Oh, is that the?
I think it's the baseball one.
Yeah, build it in there.
Yeah. That one wasn't bad.
The movie I was thinking of was Good Will Hunting. So.
Oh, I've heard that I need to watch that.
So, I mean, I like watched the first hour of it and was done. So,
Oh yeah.
And like, I think in that movie, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were just brothers. And I don't know. I've never really liked a single performance from Ben Affleck. I'm sure, like, as a person, he's a cool guy. And you probably want to hang out with him and have lunch with him. But just like for everything I've seen on screen, I'm just like, yikes.
Yeah. All right. What's Dallon's 5th?
So, Dallon's 5th least favorite actor of all time is Jaden Smith.
Oh,
So,
The Karate Kid and
yeah.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
He seems like an interesting guy.
Oh, I think Dallon saw After Earth too. So that's
I haven't seen that one.
that's like the movie with Will Smith and Jaden Smith, and they're like crash landed on this planet. And I think spoilers, the twist of that movie is they're actually on Earth and it's like destroyed. So,
Oh.
and that might have been an M. Night Shyamalan movie too. So,
Oh.
and it also seems like his personality isn't that great either. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has some drama or controversy just in life in general, not just his movies.
Yeah, I guess when like both parents are like sleeping around and jealous of each other and controlling of each other, then it's like, you're just the product of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, poor kid. All right, what's your number 4?
All right, my number 4 is Josh Hutcherson.
From
The Hunger Games?
Yeah.
He was also in Journey to the Center of the Earth as a kid. But yeah, mostly for the Hunger Games.
Mm.
I don't know. Again, I don't have a lot of reasoning to go off of this
Mm-hmm.
other than I'm Team Gale. No, I'm just kidding.
I think the only people who really like him are like women who find him attractive.
hmm
And I think if you watch like a lot of his recent stuff, because I've like looked into his filmography, and recently it's just a bunch of low budget movies that aren't really that good. And so that's kind of what he's doing now.
Yeah.
And so it's like not saying he doesn't have like what it takes to be on an MCU movie, but
Yeah. Another thing is there's like a meme of him that I don't really understand, and that may be part of the reason why I picked him.
hmm. What's the meme?
It's just like his face, like black and white of his face, and like I feel like it's got the vibe of like a Rickroll, where it like it shows up randomly and people are like, "Oh, you just got joshed" or something like that. I can't remember, but I don't get it.
I wonder if it's yeah, like you said, it's like a Rickroll thing. Yeah, maybe just people really like him. I don't know, but no, I get that. I get why he's like, and I think at the time of Hunger Games, he was like a young adult or a child, so it's not very fair of you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's a great guy, and I enjoyed him in the Hunger Games, but I had to pick someone on my list.
Oh,
then.
okay. So now we're just getting a bunch of people who like don't deserve to be on here, but
Pretty much.
okay. So my fourth least favorite actor of all time is Timothy Chalamet. Yeah.
Interesting. Why is that?
I feel like he's somebody that people want him to be like famous and want to do well, but he just really doesn't have what it takes to like, he doesn't have that it factor. And so, like in Dune, he's kind of like, he's the perfect age, and it's not really like movies that require you to like do a ton of like good acting because it's mostly monotone. And then like the second movie, he's just doing a lot of shouting, you know?
hmm
Yeah, so I've never really liked him ever.
Yeah, I can see that. I really enjoyed him in Dune, and he was in what was he in as a kid? There was something he was a kid in.
Interstellar.
Oh yes, that's right. We saw that the other day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I do think he may be overhyped, but I don't know if I necessarily think he's a bad actor. So, but that's just my opinion, man.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Like I said, there's probably gonna be a lot of people who don't like that answer, but it's like I haven't been. I don't know. We'll have to see what he does later because he's in like these like movies nobody's heard of that people say he's like really good in. Oh, I saw him in Lady Bird, and he didn't really do anything as far as acting goes. That was impressive, and I feel like that's true for all his movies.
Yeah,
So,
he is pretty young too, so maybe he'll get better
yeah.
as he gets older.
Like Tom Holland, I would say he's also like same acting ability. He's just more likable. Like he's just
Oh,
a nicer person, and what more people want to like get to know him and see what he's all about. Which is probably why they picked Tom Holland over Timothy Chalamet in like
Yeah.
for Spider-Man.
yeah,
So
yeah.
okay, Down's fourth least favorite actor of all time is Kevin James.
I think I like Kevin James.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. What is he in again?
I think he's most famous for like Mall Cop,
Oh yeah,
and then like he's just in a ton of Adam Sandler movies because they're buddies.
yeah.
So
I think playing. I mean, I haven't seen Mall Cop in a long time, but I feel like doesn't he play kind of dumb a little bit in that movie or no?
I haven't seen it. So I've only seen like some Adam Sandler movies and like Here Comes the Boom.
Yeah, I feel like playing in a comedy movie is some of the hardest acting to do. To like make people laugh is really hard. So I don't know. I like Kevin James.
Yeah.
I saw him on a lot of when I was doing research. I saw him on a lot of people's lists, and I think it's unjustified. So
Oh.
I'd be interested to see what Dallin or hear what Dallin's reasoning was for that.
I think like I don't have any like hard feelings towards the dude. Like as far as comedy goes, I feel like he does as well as some other comedy like people who are should be in stand up, and then they're so famous that they end up making a ton of movies too. Like Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr are really great with stand up, but then you see them in comedy movies and they're awful. You know, and I think it's just because it's like some things you can't really control with movies. So
Yeah,
and it is a different medium for stand up versus movies. Whereas like Jim Carrey does great in pretty much both of those aspects.
He does stand up.
Yeah, he used to do stand up. I think that's how like SNL got a hold of him, is because they're like, oh, this dude's funny. It's like some really funny impressions. So,
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, so what's your third least favorite actor of all time?
Okay, I did Taylor Lautner. He was in Twilight.
Oh, Shark Boy. You're giving Shark Boy
Oh yeah,
issues?
he was also Shark Boy. I forgot about that.
Yeah, this poor kid was just a
I think he just got famous because a lot of girls liked him.
yeah.
And so I actually don't know if I've seen anything. I have seen Shark Boy and Lava Girl, but I have not seen the Twilight movies. So I actually don't know. But
How long have you been married?
3 years.
You've not seen Twilight.
Yeah, Julie's only seen it like once.
Does she like it?
I don't think so.
Huh.
It was kind of one of those movies where it's fun to watch to make fun of, is what I think she told me.
That's what she told you. No, I think
I can ask her.
yeah, I've met quite a few couples where they watch Twilight like whenever the guy wants to get lucky. So because he knows it'll make his wife happy to just do a Twilight marathon, and he knows he's gonna get happy after that point.
Oh, yeah. I also haven't read the books either, so I have like zero Twilight exposure. All I know is it's about vampires, like teenage vampires.
Yeah, I really like Twilight. I watched the movies. So,
You really like it?
yeah, so I think you putting Taylor Lautner on here is unjustified and unfair.
Oh my goodness, that
outrageous.
actually shocks me.
I don't think he's like. So Twilight's interesting because if you look at it from like the basic like Oscar perspectives, it's a bad movie. But you can't look at it through those lenses. You got to look at like, why do women like this so much, and why do like women paid millions of dollars to go see this movie, and that's kind of like the lens you got to go for. And so Taylor Lautner in those aspects are really good. And he did a great job as Shark Boy.
That's true. I did enjoy Shark Boy and Lava Girl. So.
Yeah, they should do a remake, like a sequel with him and that other girl. You know, and just make a movie. I feel like that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So, okay. My third least favorite actor of all time is Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley. I don't know if I know who that is.
I think he was Trevor in Iron Man 3, if you remember.
Oh, you don't like him?
Yeah.
Why not?
I've never really liked him. No, never liked him. He's always been in a bunch of movies where it's like, I think like when I was watching Iron Man 3 as a kid, and he was like propped up to be like the villain in the trailer, and then the movie it's like a twist where he's not actually the villain, he's just some weirdo. Like I kind of like, I've always hated him, and then like other movies I've seen him in, I've just hated those movies. I don't get like the Ben Kingsley hype, so he's a good sign that the movie's gonna suck.
I've seen Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Apparently he's in that. I don't remember.
I'm assuming he's playing the same character as Trevor.
Yes, but I don't remember who Trevor is.
So in the third Iron Man movie, you know, there's like the terrorist, the Mandarin, and Tony Stark basically gives him his address, and then the Mandarin blows it up, and Iron Man's suit goes flying out of control, and then Iron Man like breaks into the Mandarin's palace with like the squirt bottle gun that he made, and like he's like wearing those glasses, and he finds the Mandarin, and it's like this actor named Trevor, and so Trevor thinks he's like just doing a role as a terrorist, and not actually like people think he's a terrorist in real life.
Oh.
So I'm assuming he shows up in Shang-Chi to do some stupid joke.
Yeah, that's probably it. Okay, I feel like he's. I don't have an opinion about him. So
I dislike him. Dislike him so much. I don't know. He seems like a very overrated actor as well. So for the low scum movies that he does, he seems overrated. So and I think he was Gandhi at one point, and as we all know, Gandhi was a pedo.
I can't believe you just said that. We're gonna get demonetized. Just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah, you know, worth it. It's fine. So Dowd's number 3, least favorite actor of all time, and I was surprised this is his number 3, is James Corden.
Okay.
So most famously in the movie Cats.
Oh, I was gonna say I know him as like a
Into the Woods?
comedian, not like an actor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like SNL, like the
Yeah, like
Saturday
that.
Night Live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll talk about this later, but I don't think just because you're famous in one career does means you should become a famous movie actor.
Yeah. Well, it's hard not to, right? Because you like end up rubbing elbows with all these people, and all these people want you in your movies because you're popular.
That's true. It's all marketing.
Yeah. So I get it, like why he's in this stuff. Well, actually, with James Corden though, like I remember seeing like the first exposure I got to him was seeing him in the sing along car thing with all those famous people, and I just thought that was like obnoxious and annoying because his voice isn't that great, and you hear about all these things that how he treats people behind the scenes over the years, and then he like retires, but it's actually because it's like he's bad press now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think his personality sounds like it's terrible, but from what's been reported by a ton of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like his movies go, it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of obnoxious on screen too.
Yeah. I think that one's justified.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's weird it's his number 3. But yeah. So what's your number 2 least favorite actor of all time?
It is Miles Teller.
From Whiplash, and from War Dogs, and from Fantastic Four, and from...
So the main reason I picked him... Oh, I liked him in Top Gun. I will say that.
Okay.
I did not like Whiplash. I thought Whiplash was terrible. And I liked Divergent, but I didn't like him in Divergent.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in that.
So the main reason is because of Divergent. I just was not impressed. And so yeah, I did like him in Top Gun though. I forgot he was in Top Gun.
Okay. So you just don't like those performances though, or just like him?
I haven't seen anything about him outside of the movies, so I don't know if he's a good person or not. But.
So Fantastic Four, the one that he was in, is not only was it a bad movie, but it's considered like one of the worst movies ever.
Oh, he got... I think when I was doing research, he got nominated for a Razzie for that movie.
Yeah. So I think in like that way, I get why people don't like him. But he's like... I liked him in War Dogs. And even though it wasn't like the best acting ever, I thought he did a really good job. And but at the same time, like, if you were Razzie nominated, then you probably earned it. So
Yeah.
my second least favorite actor of all time is Forrest Whitaker.
I don't know who that is.
So he was in Rogue One as a Darth Vader parody. I don't know. He was let me look up some of his movies. Arrival, Black Panther, Rogue One, Platoon. I keep like forgetting. So a lot of these movies. So I don't think Black Panther and Platoon and Arrival and Rogue One are good movies at all. I think they're bad. And so his appearance in them is also like an indicator that it's going to be a bad movie. I think him and Ben Kingsley were in this movie called Species, and I just remember it being like, it was like basically an Alien knockoff, and I remember being so annoyed with their acting and their characters. And I was just like, I can't stand them. And I realize this now. And so he's like, I really am annoyed with Forrest Whitaker. And I feel like he's the type of guy who just like constantly shoves himself in as much acting projects as he can because he's just not that good.
Interesting.
And like for Black Panther, it's like, yeah, he's one of the black guys.
Yeah.
It's like most people aren't going to be able to pick him out because he's not that good of an actor. So,
Yeah.
And Arrival was bad, and he was bad in Arrival.
I liked Arrival. I don't remember what role he played in Arrival, but...
Forgettable role. Okay, so Downs number 2 is Kevin Hart.
I could see that. Yeah. I've seen like one movie with Kevin Hart, I think.
Jumanji?
Oh, actually, maybe 2.
I think he, like, the way I describe him is he's like probably the worst comedian out there. So, besides Amy Schumer, like, I've heard he makes like a ton of money from his shows that he does for stand-up, and I've heard some of it, and it's just like even Chris Rock has some better stand-up, and I don't think that dude's all that funny. And,
well, he's more funny now that he's been slapped.
Yeah. Probably earned $1 million for each finger that hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Kevin Hart, well, it seems to me all he jokes about is his height.
Yeah. Being short is not a personality trait.
Yeah. It's like, that seems to be like the number one joke I hear about him and the number one joke that he tells about himself. And besides like the classic, like, oh, what about the airport food? And what about like being a family man, and all this stuff. So it's like, yeah, watching his movies are like hard.
I do think his voice is kind of obnoxious. Like, it seems like he's yelling all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's just me, but
yeah. So I get that. That makes sense. All right. Let's see your number one. Oh, this is your least favorite actor of all time. Let's go.
yep, Tom Brady,
As in,
the quarterback.
yeah.
So
Because he's in like,
he's in a lot of football things.
okay.
But I most recently watched a movie called 80 for Brady with Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda.
uh-huh.
And he was in it, and his acting was terrible. And this is the perfect example of just because you're famous in one career does not mean you should become a famous movie actor. And in this case, I don't think it's a good marketing thing. I mean, maybe it is, like, but this movie particularly should be for women, but it's about football, so it's targeted towards men, which doesn't make any sense at all. But he did a terrible job, and he should just not be an actor. So that's why he's my number one.
Okay. So to offer a counterpoint for you. So he's in Ted 2. And you know, like Ted the teddy bear.
Yeah, I have not seen that.
So it's a comedy. And so Ted gets married in the first movie, and he's having I think maybe he gets married at the beginning of the second movie, and he's having relationship problems with his wife. And so his best friend tells him, you know what you need to do is you need to like get her pregnant, so that way like your love of the child will keep your marriage alive. And he's like, okay, that's a great idea, except I can't get her pregnant because I'm a teddy bear. And so so they go sneak over to Tom Brady's house to steal some of his DNA.
Oh. And
Tom Brady catches him, and like, I can't remember, he's basically like, it was another person trying to steal my sperm, So in that sense, I think he does a really good job.
That one line in one movie.
Yeah, like, or he like, it's I don't know if, I guess it sounds like he's like been in a ton of movies, but it's just surprising to see him in a Ted 2 movie, So it makes it funny. And
I think that's good writing, not necessarily showing how good of an actor Tom Brady is.
Yeah, okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, okay. So this football guy is your least favorite actor of all time?
Hey, like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, this was hard to come up with a list, so I just kind of threw people on there.
Okay, all right.
So.
Okay, well, why don't we see what my least favorite actor of all time is?
Yes, let's hear
Seth Rogen.
No.
Yeah.
Why him?
So I think he's a good writer. I don't like his acting at all.
Okay.
There you go. Do you want me to expand on that?
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Okay, I will. The funniest thing he does with his acting is his laugh. He does like, I can't do his laugh. But like his laugh.
10 out of 10 impression.
He has like that famous laugh that he does for all his movies. He recently, he got some flack for the Super Mario Brothers movie for his role of King Kong or Donkey Kong.
Okay.
And what people's complaint is like, it sounds like he's not even trying. And what the response to that is like, yeah, that's how it was directed. I was asking him, do you want me to do like this or this? And they're like, no, just do exactly how you sound. And even though that's how he's directed, everyone else interpreted it as him not even trying. It's like he's just doing what he's been doing his entire career in comedy movies and acting. And I think also like it sounds like his personality, like, because I think we should include like personality as well as their so Tom Brady, because he happens to be in a couple movies, and also how he's treated people around him in his life, I think that should be included. But like Seth Rogen sounds like not a great guy to be around and to work with, not a nice person.
Yeah, I have not heard that much about Seth Rogen. But I will say I love his voice. I love how it sounds. I love that laugh. I think it's great. So
okay, so it works for you.
Yeah, but I don't think I've seen anything where that's live action of his.
Oh, I was gonna say, haven't you seen Superbad? And I was like, you probably haven't.
No, I don't think so.
He was in The Disaster Artist with James Franco and Pineapple Express with James Franco, and The Earth is Gonna Explode because of Armageddon with James Franco.
Likes James Franco?
Yeah. So, but I think that's because like James Franco is like a likable dude, and Seth Rogen's trying to become more likable by being his buddy. So yeah, so I don't like him. Find him obnoxious and annoying.
Yeah.
He was doing this like Christmas show. Basically, like it was the whole point of the show was just to knock down religion and make fun of people who believe in Jesus Christ during like Christmas. And so a lot of people on the left and on the right side of like the political aisle were both upset because it's like, it's just like awful humor, where it's one thing if it's funny, it's another thing where you're just doing it out of like hatred,
Yeah, that's true.
So that's kind of another thing. And, he couldn't own up to that. Yeah, it's like I made a mistake and it wasn't funny. Next time I should be a better writer.
Yeah.
So, or it's like it's how you say the joke is what makes it funny. And so you can say like any joke to the right crowd, but it's like if it's just not funny, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
So, all right.
That's true.
Down's least favorite actor of all time, and I kind of also agree with this in some ways, is The Rock.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I could see that on some of his performances, but on others, like, I think he has bad performances and good performances.
I think he's just like a very likable dude in interviews, and then like he keeps like sucking people into his movies to watch these bad movies, and then like I don't know. I kind of somewhat agree with Dallin. Like even though he's not on my top 5, he's got to be like number 6 for me. Where he's like I don't think he's just like because he like did double WWE wrestling because like that's just basically purely based off your personality and excitement you can bring to a crowd.
That's true.
So, but as far as like an actor goes, it's kind of like meh. I also watched Black Adam and I hated Black Adam and I hate him for making it. So.
I have not seen that. But I have seen The Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, that was bad.
And it was very, very cheesy. Like it reminds me of like a Disney Channel movie. I don't know if it was on Disney Channel, but
yeah,
it reminds me of that. But for a kids movie, he's a great actor.
I think like if I would love it for him to go visit like Make-A-Wish kids, and I feel like he would do a good job of making them happy. He's kind of like John Cena in that way. But I feel like where John Cena shines compared to The Rock is like John Cena is actually like funny.
Oh yeah. John Cena also has the most hilarious YouTube video about him ever.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about that like
the phone call one.
Yeah,
that one's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, any after we made our list, do you have any regrets?
No, but it did give me an idea for our next episode, which is going to be our top 5 least favorite actresses. I added someone to my list after this conversation, so yeah. But I don't have anything else for this.
Okay.
List.
I think it is interesting how it's like a lot of these people, like a lot of some of your guys, like Taylor Lautner and Josh Hutcherson, were kind of like these up and coming young men in acting, and so it's kind of interesting to see all these careers where like a lot of these are comedy actors or just people who are famous. And yep. And if you disagree with us, then you're wrong.
Well, I'm very persuaded because it was hard to make my list, and I kind of just put people on there that
didn't deserve to be on there.
Yeah, they maybe didn't deserve to be on there, but
they didn't deserve your hate, Spencer.
I don't think anyone deserves hate.
Oh, okay.
Unless they're Hitler.
Yeah.
Wow, same wavelength there. Well, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you for listening and watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and review. Helps us grow as a YouTube channel, and we appreciate the support. We'll see you in the next episode.
You should have put Hitler as your least favorite actor.
That's true. He's in Triangle 4.
Yeah. And